Hello, everyone. Welcome. So glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Our next live English session will be on April 6th with Dr. Taylor Rush. If you have any questions or comments or want to share where you're tuning in from today, maybe how the spring is arriving in your home area, would love to see some fun spring emojis in the chat if you feel so inspired to share. Wanted to remind you about our other PD Health at Home programs. That includes our Wellness Wednesdays and our Fitness Fridays. Some programs around care partners and our expert briefings will begin. We'll have another one in April if you'd like to join us in our Spanish language programming, EP Salud en Casa. Want to thank the support of the Light of Day Foundation for supporting the Parkinson's Foundation's mission and their generosity of supporting our program, PD Health at Home. We welcome back Dr. Danielle Carns. It's been some time since we had the honor of being facilitated into mindful meditation with Dr. Carns. Dr. Carns, thank you so much for being here today. I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you for having me again. It's always wonderful to join you all on Mindful Mondays. So I'm just going to share my screen here, and then we'll get started. Right. So I want to welcome you all. So we'll begin by finding a comfortable seat. I want you all to allow your body to assume whatever posture feels right during this practice. I encourage use of props. That could be a pillow or a blanket to increase comfort. And so for the next minute or so, while I'm giving a brief introduction, I will let you all gather whatever props you may need to make this your personalized practice. So again, welcome to this Mindful Monday practice. I want to thank you all for taking this time for yourself and for carving out the space to engage in this practice. Allowing yourselves to find tranquility in moments of unrest, or simply just embracing these small moments, is a true expression of gratitude and self-love. With each practice and with each Mindful Monday, you are further developing a skill that will help you manage stress, day-to-day challenges, and have a greater appreciation for what your mind and body are capable of. As you're getting comfortable, feel free to close your eyes and listen to the sound of my voice as I describe the content of our practice today. Today, our practice emphasizes decluttering of the mind, a sort of internal spring cleaning to reduce the weight of negative thinking in order to renew our sense of autonomy. While we must strive to accept our current conditions in an effort to continue moving forward, we must not forget that we still have the power to change how we move through or past barriers to continue on this journey, not just of life, but of living with unique challenges that a neurological condition may bring. By decluttering our mind, we limit the impact of negative thinking so that we continue to grow and shape into the people we are meant to be and who we are proud of being. Now that you have settled into your space, I want you to begin to notice your breath. Your breath will be your anchor for the duration of this practice. Come back to it if your thoughts begin to wander, to recenter and ground yourself. Begin to notice how it feels as your lungs expand with each inhale, holding each breath for a moment before slowly exhaling. Starting from the bottom, let's take a brief inhale in, feeling and noticing the sensation of oxygen entering our bodies, acknowledging the energy our environment is providing. Continue slowly inhaling until your lungs have reached full capacity. At that point, I encourage you to pause for 2 or maybe 3 seconds, embracing the stillness between each inhalation and exhalation. As you're breathing, once you can no longer hold on, begin to exhale, slowly releasing, compressing your lungs, and pushing the carbon dioxide out into the air around you. With each cycle of breath, move at your own pace. Hold onto the stillness as long as you can, perhaps challenging yourself to hold it for a second or 2 longer with each cycle. Once you've reached your capacity, slowly begin to exhale. Sit with this and take 3 slow cycles of breath at your own pace. Now begin to visualize a perfect spring day. Imagine you are your favorite flower or perhaps tree. Maybe you're a blossoming daffodil or a dogwood tree, swaying in the wind with rays of sunshine, feeding your soul. Breathe in more deeply and exhale with a closed mouth. This will create an internal warmth as you begin to visualize the sun warming your leaves, envisioning the ebb and flow of sunshine as clouds pass by. With each breath in and out, settle into the comfort of your ideal spring day, deepening your relaxation. Now I'd like for you to begin to reflect on any internal challenges, or perhaps even negative self-talk that you have faced over the past month. Often with physical barriers come discouraging points of view, a new perspective that we may not be ready to take. Often thoughts like, I can't, I won't be able to, or maybe something that begins with, I am no longer, start to become loud and at times overwhelming. Take a moment to reflect on what thoughts have become overwhelming for you. As you bring these thoughts into the front of your mind, perhaps the sky in your scene that you've been visualizing begins to darken. Still focus on those challenging thoughts. Notice the clouds become gray, heavy, and begin to block the sun. Perhaps you imagine the sensation of small drops of rain sprinkling down onto your petals or leaves. Start to breathe more deeply and find the darkest cloud in your mind. Something you may have wanted to say out loud, but did not have the ability. Imagine that negative thought written all over that dark cloud. Notice the weight that those words carry. The heavier the weight, the more likely rain will begin to fall. I encourage each of you to sit with this image and this heaviness for another moment, feeling the weight of those words. With your next exhale, breathe out as forcefully as you can, clearing the air from your lungs. Envisioning that breath pushing that dark cloud away, further from blocking the light of the sun. Continue using your breath as a force to remove the ominous clouds from your sky, reminding yourself with each exhale that you have the power to find the light in each day. Now begin to add positive affirmations to your breath work, strengthening the force of your wind, clearing your skies. I invite you to silently or softly repeat, I can, I am enough, I am still me, I still have the same roots I always have, and I am grounded. Continue to repeat this to yourself for the next few moments. With the passing of clouds, begin to feel the sunlight return to your leaves. Breathing in, embracing those positive affirmations, and with a closed mouth, exhaling, feeling the internal warmth of the sunlight. Begin to slowly deepen your breath, bringing your awareness back to your body while keeping your eyes closed. Revisiting the breath work in the beginning of our practice, I'd like for you all to start from the bottom as you begin to inhale, feeling and noticing the sensation of oxygen entering your bodies, acknowledging the energy our environment is providing. Continue slowly inhaling at your own pace until your lungs have reached full capacity. Pause and embrace these moments of stillness and these final moments of your practice today. Between each inhale and exhale. Once you can no longer hold on, slowly allow your body to exhale any stagnant air, slowly releasing, compressing your lungs, and pushing the carbon dioxide out into the air around you. Much like plants, finding the sunlight in each day is integral to our growth, but so is experiencing the rain. It sometimes forces us to remember what we are capable of. When you're ready, you may slowly bring your awareness back into your current space. Perhaps you invite small movements or any stretch As you begin to flutter your eyes open, mindfulness practice is a shared experience that allows us to open our minds, our hearts, and shift our perspective to culminate a sense of gratitude during times when everything might seem impossible. Much like the theme today, there may be dark days and things outside of our control, but we must remember that we can still find moments of sunshine that allow us to stay rooted in who we are, strong in our convictions, and allow us to grow. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to share this practice with me. For the next few moments, if there are questions or comments about today's session, I will remain present. When you're ready, bring your awareness fully back into your space.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carnes. I'm very relaxed now. We have a few moments left if anyone would like to ask a question or let us know how the practice landed with you today, maybe in a positive way or in other ways that may have been unexpected. Dr. Karn, was the change of the seasons, was that the inspiration for today's practice?
Yes, finally, we have some sunshine, and I think that really inspired me to write this and just remind us of, sometimes if we feel stuck, which I think everyone can experience at some point, that we have to find those moments of light, when things kind of feel dark and if we feel like we can't get to where we need to be. And so I thought spring, kind of the turning of these seasons really emphasizes that. And so yeah. And one of the things too that I think sometimes these mindfulness programs can be challenging whenever we are welcoming the negative thoughts. And I like to tell everyone mindfulness is about recognizing those negative thoughts and being non-judgmental. And so sitting with them, appreciating the heaviness of them, and then finding ways to move forward. We can't avoid them. We'll always have thoughts, ones that we like, ones that we don't like. And so how do we modify our perspective to allow us to live, how we want to and to move forward in the absolute best way that we can, because that can be really hard sometimes. So, all right. So I saw comments about the practice. So the practice is being grounded and recognizing challenges that we face and how to, again, find a different perspective to look at them so that we don't get stuck in a negative thought cycle. It's very easy for all of us to, have a rough day and kind of that one thing that happens, just keep ruminating and thinking about it because it really was frustrating. Or maybe we got some news that we didn't want to hear. And so accepting that and saying, okay, I'm experiencing this heavy negative thought, recognizing the weight of it, and then finding a way to work through that, whether it's through breath work like practiced or grounding or even visualizing something that makes us feel relaxed. That grounding is really important because it regulates our autonomic nervous system. And when we're feeling stress, sometimes that can cause an internal sense of tremulousness. And we know that stressors and things like that, anxiety, can really worsen our physical functioning. And so we want to work to really find ways to ground ourselves so that we can move forward and manage our symptoms and our challenges the best way that we can.
Thanks, Dr. Carnes. Lots of gratitude being expressed in the chat. someone saying this is what they needed in this particular moment. So I want to just acknowledge that. Some blessings for Easter that's happening this weekend. Suzanne says, wasn't aware I was carrying so much tension in my body. Worked out the kinks. Lovely. It's like a massage for the mind, right?
And doing it regularly makes it much easier to work out those kinks faster. It's really like going to the gym. You have to kind of be regular at it to really just get very good at shutting it off sometimes.
Yeah, get those reps in, you know?
Yes.
I have a question here from Dennis. Dennis shares, how do you recommend not getting overwhelmed by the big picture, knowing that the story does end?
Yeah, so I think that, there are a lot of things that we are faced with where, you have an outcome or something that is predicted, right, in the future. And the sense of being overwhelmed comes from our internal schemas trying to figure out and problem solve that ending that we don't know what it is yet, right? So that anxiety, all of the unknowns. And so really, recognizing that being overwhelmed is a very natural occurrence for all humans. So don't beat yourself up about that. But when it comes to managing it, really grounding yourself and saying, what can I control now? Right? What can I do to live the life I want in this moment? Because if we get caught up in the river of negative thinking and of concerns, which are very valid, we lose the time that we have, and we lose the ability to embrace the things that we want in this moment and enjoy the things that we want. And so as difficult as it is trying to redirect those thoughts, acknowledging the heaviness and the weight of it all, but then
Mm,
saying, how will this serve me now, and what can I do now that allows me to do the things that I want to do that I'm afraid I might not be able to do because of this. And so really focusing on that can be a really great way to reframe.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for helping us reframe, Dr. Carnes. And Jay, thank you for sharing. Passover starts on Wednesday for all of us Jewish friends here. Donna, Mindfulness Mondays are held every Monday, and all of our sessions are recorded. So if you want to revisit Dr. Carnes' multiple episodes or sessions that we've had her, feel free to check us out on the YouTube. On the YouTube. And everyone gets an email of all the Mindfulness Mondays from this past month at the end of the month. So you'll get that recording right in your inbox for easy access in a couple of days. All right, Dr. Carnes, any final remarks before I close this out?
I did see one thing about a plant. I believe it was Linda, that wanted me to repeat what I said about the plant needing rain as well as sunshine. And I think that sometimes we get fixated on the clouds and the rain, forgetting that we need that for growth, right? Going through challenges teaches us about, things that we maybe didn't know that we were capable of, and can really allow us to appreciate those sunny days. And so my comment was kind of around that.
Mm, so good. It makes me think of the full life cycle of a seed, right? A seed has to be rooted down dark into the depths of the darkness of the soil before it sprouts and breaks through the ground to rise up towards that which gives it life, which is the
Yeah,
sun. So,
you need that balance. You can't have all sun and no rain, or that's not good either, right? So everything in life is about balance.
mm. Well, thank you, Dr. Carnes, so much for your facilitation today. Really appreciate you. And I hope I see you next week on April 6th with Dr. Taylor Rush from the Cleveland Clinic. Um, until then, my friends, welcome the spring rains and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you, Dr. Carnes, and thank you all for continuing to be here. Be well.